holding against Dunlap.
Welcome to the 12U Super Bowl between the Dunlap Eagles and the Washington Panthers live at Dunlap High School. We apologize at the start of the fourth quarter. We were just getting done with an IHSA football broadcast at Washington High School, but nonetheless, we are here and we are ready to get going.
Yeah, glad to be with you in the booth here, Michael. This is Jonathan Michael Savoy, my play-by-play man here today, and been a busy day for high school sports, and now we get to cap it off with some Dunlap JFL football. 12U in the championship against Washington.
As there's a big run down the sideline and tripped up by the 25.
Big game for Dawson Freres.
Dawson Freres for Dunlap. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The score is 14-0 Dunlap over Washington.
Gain of 21 and a Dunlap
Now under 7 minutes to go, 6:48 now on the clock. Dunlap leading 14-0. So at this point of the game, I think they just have to control the football, run the ball, and Dawson Freres is a good playmaker to have the ball in the hands of.
Certainly, as it's a 1st and 10 for Dunlap. Off again and goes for almost no gain, maybe a loss of 1.
Aaron Porto on the carry.
Porto on the carry. We are approaching 6 minutes left to go.
Graham,
As I'm pretty sure Dunlap would be trying to waste time here, trying to run some clock off with a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, certainly, and we saw it in the Washington game, which we just came from. Washington winners over Crete Monique, 21-0 in the second round of the Class 6A playoffs. So Panthers varsity team moving on, and maybe have some future varsity Panthers here on the field. Maybe we'll see them in 3 to 4 years or so, doing good things for Dubtown, as they call it.
The second down carry and a good run, still moving with a few Panthers defenders.
Dawson Freres.
And Dawson Freres once again with a big carry.
A good pickup there. That chains are moving, always a good sign. And once you get down to about 2-3 minutes of the game, we're at 5.5 right now. That's kind of when
pick up a 14,
it becomes almost desperation. I mean, it's kind of start almost to kneel it out. So Washington has to be aggressive when tackling. They have to try and punch the ball out, hope for a Dunlap fumble or turnover of some sort.
Certainly, they need to be aggressive here. It's another carry on 1st down, goes for maybe a gain of 1 or 2 yards. So we're approaching the 5-minute mark in this game. Dunlap doing a good job of wasting clock.
Certainly, and I think if you're on the Washington sideline, I think that I think they would probably use start wasting clock. If you're Dunlap, you're probably thinking, hey, we're just taking our sweet time and just waiting the time of possession. Battle again. I don't know. We don't know earlier from who's controlled the ball for most of the game. Although these are two obviously very good teams out. The 1 seed. This is Washington's A team. They're the 2 seed in these 12U playoffs.
Handoff goes to Dunlap, and yet another gain of maybe 1 to 2 yards. Dawson Freres again. From what I've seen here in this fourth quarter, from the moment we started broadcasting, I bet they used Dawson Freres a lot in this game.
Yeah, certainly, and through all these Dunlap JFL games that we've broadcasted, there's been some guys, but both the 12U and the 14U level. By the way, the 14U championship against Woodruff coming up right after this.
Definitely, that's a game you need to look forward to because Woodruff, they're a good team too. They have a lot of talent, a lot of athleticism, and they're going to be obviously 14-year-olds are going to be going into high school with high hopes for whatever school they end up going to for high school.
Violators of this policy
certainly, and Woodruff obviously as a high school no longer around here in Peoria, but a lot of those kids usually end up going to Peoria High. Maybe some of them end up going to Manual. Maybe even some go to Richwoods. You never know, or they can go somewhere else. It's kind of that's the state of high school right now. Trouble with the snap, and there's a flag down. It appears.
Flag on the play.
On the carry. Flag on the play.
Get the call here in a second from the head ref. So false start on Dunlap.
False start, Dunlap.
So good news for Washington that moves them back and stops the clock.
Yeah, it stops the clock for the moment, but for Dunlap, you can't be drawing those penalties. will be stopping the clock, and like I said before, the main point of what they're trying to do now with a 2-touchdown lead is try to waste clock.
4th and 13.
Now the clock is rolling.
Timeout, Washington.
Blows it dead, but it looks like Washington's taking a timeout here. Just 3:19 to go, so I don't think we're gonna see Dunlap airing the ball out or anything like that. Just I think the message is simple in their huddle: just hang on to the football.
Hand off to Ferris and just waste clock. That's the message for Dunlap right now with the 2-touchdown lead. And for Washington, in this timeout, what do you think they're talking about? What do you think the head coach is trying to communicate with their players?
Well, and I'm thinking about these, some of these players. I don't know if any of them were born early enough to remember Charles Tillman on the Chicago Bears, the peanut punch he was so good at, just punch the ball out and able to force so many fumbles. Again, I don't know if any of these kids remember. I'm sure maybe some of them do, some of them that maybe watched NFL football from an early age, but I think it's telling that we got to be aggressive in our tackles. We have to, obviously the thing that will really kill you the most is giving up another score. So that comes first and foremost, but they're going to need to get the ball back here on this 4th down.
Punt is away. If you feel about Washington, touched by Washington, could have very well been disastrous for the Panthers as the return is made. And a big tackle down near the 32-yard line.
Garrett Scribner on the return.
A little over 3 minutes left to go here in this game. Once again, Dunlap 14-0 over Washington, 2-touchdown lead.
And nice tackle there on that kick return. And guess who it was, Michael? It was Dawson Ferris.
Dawson Ferris, the man who can do it all on the offense, special teams, and defensive end.
Washington for their own 34-yard line.
First down and 10 for the Panthers. Message should be simple, Jonathan. Air it out, take chances. You have 3 minutes. You might be able to run the ball a little bit, but over time, you have to take some shots.
I think so, and obviously it's a bit different than high school football. You're not going to see 12 of you kids throwing it 40, 50 yards down the field, but try and get something short, and the key's going to be getting some lead blockers out there. I'd watch those 3 receivers at the top of your screen to maybe whoever doesn't catch the ball, you got to be blocking.
First down and 10 for Washington. Subbing in the pocket is the quarterback, and he's still escaping, and a plethora of Dunlap Eagles get to him finally. That's not what you want for Washington. It takes some time off the clock, and you lose some yardage.
It looks like they actually gained a couple there.
Or excuse me, they did gain a couple.
Yeah, just a bit, a little bit tough to see from our vantage point. But
Douglas Corey,
good awareness by Washington's quarterback end.
Pick up the 4, second down and 6.
Roster as we hurried over here, but nice time not to take the sack. But again, clock is your biggest enemy now. 2.5 minutes left in the game, down 14-zip.
Second and medium for the Panthers. Pass is incomplete. That was very close to being a catch, and it would have very well helped Washington out, but nonetheless incomplete.
That was not a bad throw there. It looked like it kind of hit the ball or just hit the ground, hit the receiver's hands at about the same time. So obviously that would mean an incomplete pass. Good news for Washington though that it stops the clock, and I think regardless if they do score and make things interesting, you got to go for the onside kick. You got to recover it as well. So,
and it looks like they're calling it a catch. They're moving the chains, and it'll be a first down for the Panthers.
Either that or
maybe there was a
either that or there was a late call that we didn't see. I didn't see any laundry on the field, at least up here.
First down at the 47.
Nonetheless, that's huge for Washington. It gets them a fresh set of downs. There's a handoff, and a gain of maybe 1 or 2 yards on that play. Clock is still rolling, approaching 2 minutes left to go in this game. Once again, Dunlap 14, Washington nothing. 2-touchdown lead, and there's a timeout by Washington to stop the clock.
A good tackle there from Dunlap's Bear Fuller. Certainly, I'm sure if there's an all-name team here in the JFL of Central Illinois, Bear Fuller, I think, would be on there.
Bear Fuller is amazing.
He gave him a bear hug and wrapped him up.
You gotta wonder if his dad saw what he saw in his kid when he was born right away and called him Bear Bryant or Bear Fuller, excuse me.
Bear Bryant.
Bear Fuller. Bear Fuller and just assume that, you know, maybe he'd be a Bear in the defense.
Yeah, true. And you never know. Again, both these teams have lots of good talent. Dunlap, Washington, always one of, you know, both these teams have so much success, you know, just year in, year out, the varsity level. And it's because of having the strong pipeline like you see here on the field now. I mean, these kids are going to be standouts, and these teams are always in contention for the Mid-Atlantic Conference title.
A check down to number 2 for Washington, and I'll go for a gain of about 5. And I'll keep the clock going. I thought he went out of bounds, but I guess he was just short.
Now he was just a hair short.
Pickup of 6, third down and 2.
Washington receiver was down for a second.
Timeout Washington.
Another timeout by the Panthers. Once again, 14-0 Dunlap over Washington for the 12U Super Bowl. Under 2 minutes left to go, 147 to be exact.
And, you know, I mean, obviously not a huge gain. They're getting about 8 or so, but if you can continuously pick up, you know, 8-9 yards per play, you can get in the end zone with maybe about a minute or so left. And it really is going to come down to, can you recover the onside kick? Because I believe Washington is out of timeouts now. So they got to go quick. They got to just really, you know, make some magic happen, really. And
you got to score. You got to score with time left on the clock. You can't take this possession too conservatively. They know that. They need to be aggressive. And it's just a matter of if they score, do they have enough time to recover an onside kick and have enough time to score another touchdown?
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, I feel like someone's going to need to break off a big run or break a tackle and get a long gain.
It's third and about 3 for Washington. Looks to be a false start. And now they will be so.
False start.
There's some pressure that came off the edge from Dunlap a bit early, and most of the time, not all the time, it is usually started by because one of the offensive linemen is moving, so that was the case there. You know, obviously more important for Washington, you know, before you score, you got to get the first down. So they do have to get to about the 37, 38 or so. So it's about
third about 8. And that will get about maybe half, maybe a fourth of the yardage needed for the first down. It gives Washington, about a fourth and medium to pick up the first.
And it all comes down to this. You know, obviously need to at least get the first down here, but, you know, clock is
4th and 5.
Really your enemy at the moment.
Under pressure is the quarterback for Washington. He's down for a sack, and that very well will wrap it up.
Grant Osborne brought down by Bear Fuller on 4th down.
Bear Fuller again for Dunlap. 2 big tackles.
And he very well provided the game sealer for Dunlap. The minute 15 left to go. Dunlap with the football and the turnover on downs. And 14-0 ball game. Timeout Dunlap. Making sure they can talk things over, make sure they don't turn over the ball, make sure they completely win this game.
Certainly, as you look at one of their coaches, Joshua Dickhouse, one of their assistants, who is part of the reason why we're here for Dunlap JFL. He's a professor in sports communication at Bradley. He was actually my advisor when I was at Bradley for all 4 years, one of my favorite professors, and I graduated there from the spring. Michael, you're a freshman there now. He does a little bit of everything. It's a great coaching staff here at Dunlap. And
great.
They're going to be hoisting a trophy here pretty soon, barring anything absolutely unforeseen. It's like they'll probably just either kneel it out or just run right up the gut.
And LD will kneel it out. Washington out of timeouts, nothing they can do. The clock just keeps ticking. And we're very well looking at the 12U Super Bowl champions, the Dunlap Eagles.
That should do it. It's been a phenomenal year for the Eagles. You know, I don't have the information available right now, but if I know they either went undefeated or lost only 1 game at the most. Just an absolute machine of a program, and also a credit to Washington for a good season as well. Dubtown JFL is always in the mix, and those players will be great future Panthers someday.
And the final kneel is down, and just like that, the celebration is on. The Dunlap Eagles are your 12U Super Bowl champions. What a team. And we very well will be seeing them in high school doing the same thing for the Dunlap Eagles high school team in a couple years.
Certainly, Dunlap looking for a Mid-Illini Conference title.
Final score,
They've been
Dunlap
close the past
14,
years.
Washington
Haven't quite
nothing.
got there. Looking for some big playoff wins. That's big because these players, they know how to win. As this game now officially goes final, Dunlap Eagles have
Congratulations
won
to both teams on a well-played season.
biggest prize you could get in
Presentation of
JFL,
medals and trophies will begin behind
the
each
Super
team's
Bowl
bench
for
momentarily.
12U.
Please remember, for the safety of
They are going to
everyone
be
in
some happy
attendance,
kids
only
here
athletes,
tonight.
coaches,
Lots of
and
Mountain
game
Dew, I'm
personnel
sure,
with
is going to be
proper
drank.
credentials
Lots of Mountain Dew, lots of
inside the
pizza.
fenced area surrounding
When
the
you win a
playing
game
field.
like this, you
Violators
deserve
of this
everything. You
policy
deserve a
will be
free
removed
trip
from
to
the
Dairy
facility.
Queen. Your coaches will
Thank
pay
you,
for it.
congratulations on a
And
great
just like
year,
that,
and
like
please
I said
travel
before,
safely.
the Dunlap Eagles are the 12U, I was going to say state champions. I don't know why that keeps getting in my head, but they're the Super Bowl champions. But don't look away. The 14U Super Bowl is up next between Woodruff and the 14U Dunlap Eagles, which arguably you can say they're even more talented than this team. So don't look away.
Yeah, that should be a really great game between Woodruff and Dunlap again. Apologize if in case you're just tuning in, wondering why the broadcast started late. Well, we were scurrying over from Washington IHSA football. I was over at state cross country this morning, and it's been just a jam-packed day of action. Get to cap it off here in Dunlap. We're going to see a great game between Woodruff and the Eagles, but how about the celebration? They pour the water all over their coach. That's just a core memory, Michael. Those kids are going to remember what you're seeing right here on the field for a long time, maybe the rest of their lives.
Definitely. I mean, 12U, you're talking about kids that are learning the game. You're talking about kids that, go home. They're not necessarily, training. They're not necessarily going to the gym. They're playing Fortnite together. They're playing all those other games together. So, just kids being kids. And obviously, yeah, core memory for sure.
Definitely is.
So, just like that, do not look away. 14U football, the Super Bowl, Woodruff, Dunlap coming up next. You're watching Clutch Sports Media.
23 championship games presented by
Welcome
Dick's
to
Sporting
Dunlap
Goods,
High School
official
for the
sponsor of this
14U
year's
Super Bowl
championship
between the
games.
Woodruff team and the Dunlap Eagles.
Sportsmanship
With me in the
is
broadcast booth
essential
is
in all
Jonathan
our
Michael.
area
I am Michael
programs,
Savoy.
including
And
behavior
Jonathan, we are
attitude from
seeing
players,
two
coaches,
9-0 teams
officials,
duke it out for the
parents,
Super Bowl.
cheerleaders, and
How much
fans.
better can this
The
be?
JFL
I mean, yeah, this
has
is
adopted
just
the
all that
zero
you play
tolerance
for. We
policy
just
with
saw
regard to
Dunlap win a
sportsmanship.
12U
Area directors,
championship
coaches,
when a
players,
program
fans,
they've
family
had. This
members, or
Woodruff
spectators
team
not
and program
demonstrate
also been very
that
strong this
behavior
year
will
as
be
well.
removed
Both
from
teams
the
come in
facility by
undefeated.
game management.
I mean,
Thanks
someone's
for your
going to suffer their
cooperation.
first
Hope
loss
you
tonight. It's
enjoy
going
the
to be in
game.
the biggest game of the year. Someone will get their biggest win of the year as we're underway.
Kickoff to Dunlap is Marvin Jordan, and Jordan is swarmed right away about the 19-yard line.
18 Marvin Jordan on the
And there is a
kickoff
flag
return
on
for
the field.
Dunlap.
Be
Tackled
interesting
by
to
number
see
3, Amarian
what
Smith.
this is.
Personal foul on Woodruff.
How about that? Not the way you
Flag
want
on the
to.
play.
Overall, pretty good kick and nice
Initial
coverage as
indication
well.
is
Looks
against
like
Woodruff.
Dunlap is going to get even better field position than they initially bargained for.
And it is a personal foul on Woodruff.
Personal foul against the Warriors.
They'll move up the ball to around the 38, exactly the 38. Oh, excuse me, the 39. One more yard. And they'll set up shop for
First and
Dunlap
10
with
Dunlap
quarterback
at the
Nolan
39-yard
Rickenall.
line.
1,300 plus passing yards for the young man. Definitely been tearing it up in 14U.
I mean, he is just an absolute stud that's going to be on his way coming through the Dunlap varsity program soon. He's got a big arm.
First snap goes to Blaze Williams, and Williams will be stuffed for maybe a loss of
Blaze
one.
Williams on the carry.
Swarm of Warriors
Rashad
on the
Pickett,
tackle.
Deshaun Anderson Davis on the stop.
Yeah, good coverage there, and we're going to see a lot from
Gain of a
Blaze
yard.
Williams, I think,
second
here
and
tonight. You also
9.
got to keep an eye on see if Christian Spraker is out there or not. Didn't see him last week, so I chance again.
Well,
Don't know for sure, but he
along with Blaze Williams, you also have Joey Joseph, another key
Yes,
running back for this
indeed.
team. And I saw it a lot when they played Washington last week. They handed the ball off a lot to Kyle Push. And speaking of Push, there he is, the big body himself.
Kyle Push
Gets the
with
first
carry.
down, and that'll move the chains for the Eagles.
it's going to be close to a first. I don't see the
Lamont
chains moving yet. I
Washington,
think
Noah
it's
Harrington
The chains are not
on the
moving.
tackle.
going to be a third and
3rd and 1.
Pickup of
not,
8.
Not
third
even
and
third and a
inches.
yard.
3rd and a half a yard.
Say third and maybe not even a foot. That ball is. You see, it's about the 48 on the closer to the left side of the hash. They also need to get just to the right side of the hash. They only need about 6 inches or so.
Blaze Williams at the carry, and Blaze Williams gets the first down and a little bit more. He's still going, and he'll be stopped by
Blaze
the
Williams on
Warriors.
the carry.
Would not before picking up a first down for the Eagles.
Deshaun Anderson
Good run there
Davis
from Williams. He could have
with
been
the
brought
stop.
down the backfield. There was a Woodruff defender that got in there early on, but wasn't able
First down
to
and 10, Dunlap.
quite reach him. That may have been Jarrell Jenkins on the defensive line there for Woodruff, one of their defensive ends. And they got their nose tackle, Jalen Simmons, big number 50 in there as well.
Fresh set of downs for the Eagles. Williams in the backfield once again to Rickenall. Rickenall takes a snap, looks to throw, and he'll check it down, but it was not caught. That looked to be Marvin Jordan that wasn't able to haul it in.
Striking his pass.
And Jordan's certainly a big play threat. You know, he's caught lots of long touchdowns. The games I've been able to see this year, all of a sudden on a streak down the field, and usually Reckon is able to find him. And yeah, you really got to watch out for this Dunlap passing attack. In this level, you don't really see him. People throw the ball quite as much, and that's going to be a clear offsides against Woodruff.
Could have been clear enough, as the Warriors suffered another penalty. be key for them to get the laundry off the field against this potent offense that the Eagles have.
Yeah, it really is so, and it's kind of reminiscent of Dunlap's varsity football team as well. It got a good mix of run and pass, and you see some ISO football teams, they're almost exclusively on the ground, and especially more so at these younger levels as well. Not the case really so much for Dunlap. It's really just kind of been a quarterback factory the last couple of years, among one of the best in the area of developing armed talent.
Another flag on the field. It's a false start on Dunlap, so the offsides almost gets canceled there, and Dunlap will look to be 5 yards back.
It's kind of yo-yoing back and forth. They move up 5, and they go back 5, and saw a play sort of similar to that in the game that we just came from not too long ago. Again, just rolled into Dunlap not even an hour ago after the Panthers beat Crete-Monee 21-0 in the second round of the Class 6A playoffs. So congratulations to the Panthers. That was a really fun game to watch.
His push takes the carry, and he is hard to bring down, but he ultimately does go down. The gain of about a yard might not even be a yard.
Deshaun Anderson Davis on the tackle.
Yeah, that was Deshaun Anderson Davis in on the tackle for Woodruff. Nice one there to bring down Push. You mentioned, Michael, before the broadcast that, Push is just, got it so hard to bring down. He's a big kid for his age, and he really has a good ability to break tackles.
Last week in Washington, he was used a lot in the running game. It was a cold, rainy day. Rickenow couldn't really get the ball out of his hands. It was hard to throw the ball, so Push was a big factor in that game. It's a 3rd and 10, and there's a flag on the field again. This will be offsides on the Warriors.
There's another flag on the play.
So 3rd and 5.
Lots of pre-snap penalties, and I think that could potentially end up being a key in this game. Obviously, you never want those. Those will never want to give your opponent free yards, especially this highly potent Dunlap offense.
3rd and 5 for Dunlap. As Rickenow is with Williams in the backfield. Joined in motion is Joseph, and Joseph goes to the outside, and Joseph will be close to a first.
Joey Joseph on the carry.
Joseph pushed out of bounds by a Warrior.
Pick up a 6, good for a first down.
And they'll just pick up the first down.
Needed 5, and he got 6. Nice run there to the outside, displaying his speed, and keep the drive moving for Dunlap, who's chewed up a lot of clock here in this first quarter. 6:24 left to play.
John, he is considered a track star, the fastest player on the team, so he's definitely using his speed to his advantage today, and he's used his speed to his advantage all JFL season. Fresh set of downs for the Eagles, 1st and 10. Rickenow takes a step. Bad snap. Going back is Rickenow. He'll just kneel himself, and they'll lose around 8 to 10 yards.
It's back in.
And there's a penalty on the field, too. Flag on the field.
Loss of 10 on the bad snap. There's a flag.
That came in pretty late. We'll see what this is about.
The false start on the Eagles, and that is declined.
Dunlap is declined.
Not the greatest snap, not the greatest offensive play there for the Eagles.
No, certainly not. It's going to be 2nd and quite a bit.
21.
About 20 or so.
Rickenow pushed in motion. They'll do an end around the Joey Joseph, and Joseph gets the edge, and Joseph will be pushed out of bounds. But like you said, 2nd in a while. Wasn't going to pick up the first down there, but nonetheless picks up yardage.
Yeah, that was a good play there. A little end around. It allows them to sort of just kind of gain some momentum heading towards the sideline. And yeah, 2nd and 20, you're usually not going to pick up all the yards, but they got about half, or maybe even just over half. So if they can just do that again, they can keep the chains moving. I think it's also 4-down territory as well. So
be third and around 14, 15 yards. The snap to Rickenall, and Rickenall will throw it to Marvin Jordan, and Jordan goes to the opposite side of the field, and he's still going. Jordan will not get the first down, but it's very close. What a game by Jordan, and like you said, 4 down territory. They're most certainly, if the offense they have, are going to go for it.
Yeah, you certainly think so, and I mean, how about that play from Jordan? I mean, he only picked up 5, but he probably ran a total of about 20 or 30 yards on that play. He has great lateral speed. You know, I've seen play a couple times this year, and he'll reverse course more than just about anybody that you'll see out there, and for good reason. He's got some good speed.
There's a flag on the field, the face mask on the Warriors. And if you're the Warriors, you do not want to see that.
As a face mask for them, so that'll really give Dunlap some good field position. This has been a really impressive drive.
And head coach Robert Douglas for Woodruff will call it timeout to talk things over. This game is sponsored by Josh Rickenall of Country Financial. For all your insurance needs, give Josh Rickenall, your local Country Financial agent, a call at 309-689-3161. Josh is a proud supporter of the Dunlap Athletics.
Josh, also one of the directors here for the Dunlap JFL. I want to thank him for allowing us to come out here all these weeks to broadcast these games. We've seen a little bit of it all. We've seen some close games, some not so close games, some broadcasts that were in, let's just say, inhospitable conditions. We go down the road sometimes. We just be out in the middle of the field almost a couple times, but more often than not, we always try and find a way to get it done regardless. So, but good to see these players. They get to play here at the Dunlap High School field as well. So, which obviously they'll be playing at not too long from now. Most of the games are held at North Park, just on the road here in the town of Dunlap.
Snap by Rickenall. Rickenall looking deep into the end zone, and it is caught. It's a touchdown. Marvin Jordan, what a catch. And Dunlap strikes first.
What a throw and what a catch. Jordan falling backwards, Reichena delivering just an absolute dot. I mean, you really guys got to trust that your receiver is going to be in that spot. And I mean, just what a throw, because you don't really see it that often that much at this level. And again, Woodruff is going to have to respond. That was a very good drive for the Eagles. Took up a lot of clock and just chugged on down the field. Took advantage of a couple Woodruff mistakes.
There's a flag on the field of this. They were going to go for the kick, which in JFL is the opposite from what you traditionally see in other football leagues. A kick is worth 2 points, and going for 2 traditionally with the offense on the field would result in 1 point in JFL. It's just to encourage more kicking, and Dunlap is able to have a kicker. I've seen him kick. He's really good.
Yeah, Radu Hintea out there, and these 2-point kicks are really can end up being a big difference, especially when you have a good kicker and Woodruff a bit too antsy.
Yeah. Another flag on the Warriors. And the kick will move that much closer. Or the penalty will be declined, excuse me. And the 2-point attempt. It's good, and Dunlap reaches 8-0 over the Warriors.
That was a pretty good kick there from Hintea. I mean, I've seen a lot of high school kickers, and there's some decent ones around the area. That one had about as much power on it as some of the high school kickers here around the area. So that's exactly how you want to start if you are Dunlap.
And if you're the Warriors, you realize that, you're facing opponent offense, but you also realize that you're giving flags out on the field to help the opponent offense. How do you respond if you're the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you haven't had the ball yet on offense. You've had lots of time as their quarterback and offensive unit have been able to, see what Dunlap's been able to do. And, I think they know that they're going to have to take advantage of mistakes. I think as a key for both teams, being 9-0 on the year and very highly skilled. So, can't really count on either team to make too many mistakes in this game, but have to do that. And then also, don't be afraid to try and get a big play. We've seen so many times in JFL just long runs, big passes, and I think just want to just establish some momentum, and even if you don't, even if it doesn't end in a touchdown, at least put together some good plays in offense and get your guys feeling good.
Push with the kickoff. They will do this where they will squib kick it, hopefully get an onside kick recovery, and Push will usually kick it forward to where he's the one trying to get the football the most out of all the special teamers for Dunlap. But nonetheless, the Warriors will recover and they will start shot at around the 50, be the 47.
Quarterback for Woodruff looks like it's Isaiah Peterson Robinson.
And the first play from scrimmage goes for nothing as a swarm of Eagles were there for the stop. One of the Eagles, Larry Howell, the anchor on the defense for this team.
Yeah, Howell's certainly making some good plays this year for this Dunlap team. You see him crowd the box here.
Takes a snap, goes out, and he will pick up around 6 to 7 yards. That was Amarion Smith-Holly, the quarterback for the Warriors.
Excuse me, Isaiah Peterson Robinson isn't the quarterback. I got mixed up looking at the roster. It is Amarion Smith-Holly. That was a great little stiff arm he kind of threw out there. Maybe wasn't like a full-on, hand to the helmet or anything, but still was able to kind of shoo the Dunlap defender away. Nice pickup.
Rolling out to his right is Holly, and he will complete it for a big gain, but it will still go, and he will go out of bounds inside the 10, but there is a flag on the field.
I think this might be holding on Woodruff, and indeed it is. So unfortunately for the Warriors, a big play coming back, but it's going to be really exciting, Michael, because that play really showed, what kind of big play potential these two squads have.
What we saw in the beginning of the drive for the Warriors was Smith-Holly using his legs to get to, the position that he can take off and run. We saw he has legs, and we saw him run out to his right there and make a good throw to a wide receiver. But nonetheless, holding penalties, they're killers, they're crucial, and the Warriors will not only have that gain go for nothing, but they're also pushed back.
They need 3rd and 15. We'll see if they can dial up again, maybe go with a similar play.
Holly. Give it to his running back, and he'll gain around 7 yards. Not enough for the first. Deshaun Anderson Davis with the reception.
Tackled by Bentley Gibson.
Yeah, looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field here. And again, Woodruff, my initial takeaways from them is they're just as comfortable throwing the ball as Dunlap is. So we'll see where they go.
Takes a snap. Smith-Holly will take off. Will he pick up the first? He will. He's still going. Hard to bring down, and ultimately a swarm of Eagles once again get to him. Man, is he shifty.
What a run there. Just when I say that they look comfortable passing the ball, Smith-Holly pulls off a great run there. Just, anytime you see, again, from 14U players, just that pocket awareness, knowing that, hey, I can tuck the ball and run. Smith-Holly's got some great athleticism there. Put it on display. Dunlap is going to maybe have to bring some contain on their defensive ends to try and keep him in the pocket tonight.
Handoff goes to number 7, Jeremiah Rayford, and Rayford's still going. He's still going. Tough to bring down again, and will be pushed out of bounds around the 20, maybe 21-yard line. Just approached 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Score, Dunlap 8, Woodruff nothing.
Again, about 15 there for Rayford, and this is speculation. I don't know how this for 100% fact, but I know there's a Jalen Rayford on Peoria High's team. He's a receiver, and he's caught a couple of touchdowns this year. Maybe the two are related. I think it would be a reasonable assumption. Don't know for sure, though.
Rayford goes in motion and hand off to Anderson Davis. And Anderson Davis will chug along, and he's just short of the touchdown. Just short.
Still sets them up in good field position. Dunlap had a nice clock milking drive to start the game. Woodruff just flying down the field. You know, both defenses are really going to be tested, and I think for Dunlap, their defense is so good week in and week out. This is by far their strongest test. I'm curious to see how they will respond.
Smith Holley rolling out to his left, avoiding pressure. He'll take it himself, and he bangs along two Dunlap defenders, and he is just short.
Smith Holley on the keeper.
Looks like Push and Jackson Caswell brought him down. Looked like from our angle that he was going to just, plow through those tackles, go into the end zone, but credit to both of those Eagles tacklers, prevented him from going forward anymore. And they, instead of, bringing them down backwards, if you're a defender, they, just stopped him in his tracks.
Smith Holley will hand it off to Anderson Davis, and Anderson Davis he's just short. They might have gained half a yard on that, but nonetheless, he is just short.
I mean, look at where that ball is right there. I mean, the nose of it is just a couple blades of turf away from being in the end zone.
Smith Holley will roll out to his right, and it's just short. This is interesting field position. You're at the one. It's almost a given that you might go for it.
I mean, you have to. I think any team in football that is, unless you're trying to run up the score, it's going to go for this. And just give it to your running back, maybe a QB sneak. Maybe you'll even see the brotherly shove. Who knows?
Smith Holley with the snap. He'll try to take it himself, and he will. Touchdown Warriors. And just like that, the Warriors offense answers back. It's 6-8.
What a run there from Smith Holley. I mean, it looks like he was dead to rights in the backfield. Made a nice sidestep move and just kept on going forward, and it didn't have far to go, but it didn't look good at first. As a really impressive touchdown there for the Woodruff quarterback, and they'll have a chance to tie this one up or make an 8-7 game. It looks like they will kick.
It looks like they will try to tie it up. Kicking is Lamaz Washington, number 10 for the Warriors.
Lamaz Washington in for the kick.
The kick is up and is blocked. No good. The score will stay 6-8 in favor of the Eagles.
No good.
That's big for Dunlap. Obviously, you give up the touchdown. You don't love that, but nice block there. It looks like that may have been Will McFarlane getting in there, the defensive lineman, to block that low-flying kick. But, even though you give up the touchdown, that'll give you some momentum and, won't cause you to feel so much down in the dumps going into this kickoff. Dunlap still has the lead, and obviously the opportunity to extend it with 53 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
Once again, score 6-8. Tie one up to this point, almost the end of the first quarter, is the Eagles on top of the Warriors with Woodruff kicking off.
Really interesting that both teams get one drive, and those two drives take up almost the entirety of the first quarter. I think, it really in this game, I think this game is going to come down to who can get more stops, because these offenses are used to scoring on probably, I'd guess to say, over 50% of their drives.
Kicking off for the Warriors is Lamaz Washington. And back to receive is Marvin Jordan. A line drive kick to Jordan. Jordan will return. Switching field, and he will be brought down. One of the players in the Woodruff scrum was Demetrius Gilbert, number 1.
Gilbert and Smith Holley were the first ones there. Nice wrap up there by the Warriors. And, Jordan had an opportunity to do something with that kick. A line drive, the ball got into his hands quicker than it would have if it was, a high flying kickoff there. But yeah, thought he saw a hole, and Woodruff closed it right up.
45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And Dunlap is starting their second possession of the game, working on Williams in the backfield. Working on end around to number 7, and number 7 will be cut for no gain. Christian Spraker will took the carry, and he got stopped for no gain. Good tackle by the Woodruff defense.
And Spraker is the guy that you want the ball in your hands of, and just on plays like that, Spraker normally a wide receiver, but they know that he can do some good things when he has the rock. And we've seen a lot of those end arounds from Spraker this year.
And that they will run the clock off of the first quarter, and that'll do it for the first. Score is 8-6 in favor of the Eagles. And John, what are your key takeaways of the first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, both offenses looking really good, and I think Woodruff's, more so through the run. Maybe not so much, the traditional run. We just hand off to their backs, who they've also been good today, but, Marion Smith-Holly, started and finished that drive with some good plays. It's going to be something to watch, and, I'm curious to see how Dunlap will, respond against this team. Woodruff, very speedy as well. So is Dunlap. It's kind of like we were talking in the car ride here, given today's outcomes in IHSA football. There's going to be a matchup between Kankakee and East St. Louis in Class 6A. Those are two teams that can really run out the scoreboard quick. They're very fast, athletic, talented, you name it. They fit the bill. I think you could also say the same about these teams here as well. And, I think it's, like I said, going to come down to who can get more stops. Because I think ultimately defense, will be the one that wins this game, despite both these teams having amazing offenses.
And if you're the Woodruff defense, you're going up against the Dunlap offense. What do you need to do to change some of the outcomes you've had on your drives?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just got to, be wary about what's coming. Guard the perimeter. A lot of good big plays in JFL usually start in the middle of the field and end up near the sidelines with some strong lateral speed. So I think that's going to be not only for Dunlap, but also for Woodruff as well.
Marvin Jordan in motion. Rickon play action to Jordan on the motion, and Jordan will pick up around 8 yards on the play. Sets up a 3rd and short.
Nolan Rickon pass complete to Marvin Jordan.
We've seen Jordan a lot in the passing game today so far.
Yeah, we really have, and he is kind of known as like almost a touchdown machine, right? For Dunlap, he is always seems to be open, and it's always a good trait of a good receivers when you just create separation. Jordan can do that. Now on 3rd and 2, you got the playbook open here. You can run, you can pass. I'm a little bit more conservative. I'd probably try and run it here, but with 3 wideouts, actually 4, excuse me, you never know.
Working on the shotgun. Looks like that's Marvin Jordan, or excuse me, Joey Joseph, excuse me. A lot of weapons on that team. It's easy to get mixed up in all the names. Joey Joseph with the carry.
He got pushed out before he got to the sticks. Rashad Pickett was there for Woodruff, or rather Peterson Robinson, excuse me, but about 4th and about 3 here. I think that play actually lost a yard. This is a big play here for the Woodruff defense. Given it's still early in this game, plenty of time left with 8.5 to go here in the second, but if they can get a stop, get off the field, give your offense good field possession, that would be massive.
It looks like Dunlap will punt it away. It's push, but he fakes it, and push will be close to a first down.
It's
and
very
will be
close.
A first down.
Oh, it is a first down by a fraction.
By a fraction of a foot, push picks up the first down. And that will keep the drive rolling for Dunlap, and that's going to be very demoralizing if you're the Woodruff defense.
Woodruff fans not happy with the spot. That
Timeout Woodruff.
And Woodruff will take their timeout.
Well, that was just so close. I'm surprised they didn't bring the chain gang on out to the field again. Not saying that Dunlap didn't get it or anything like that. I'm not saying that Woodruff stopped him, but it's so close. You know, not really quite sure. But you know, refs obviously have a better angle on the field than we do. Pushes the guy that you want though on those plays because you know 4th and short. You know when he gets tackled, he doesn't just go down easily. He is a big guy and falls forward. I think that really helped him get that extra inch or two that they needed to move the sticks.
It's usually not the first guy, and sometimes it's even the second guy that tries to tackle push. It does take a gang of defenders to actually get him down. And for 14U JFL football, that's a big weapon to have. We're 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the fresh set of downs. We're going to have the snap. He pitches it to Blaze Williams, and Williams will be stopped immediately in his tracks. Loss of 3.
Daniel Nathan, number 56 in yellow and blue, was right there right away. Just met Williams in the backfield and pushed him back. A loss of about 4.
And we've seen it so far in the first half. This Woodruff defense has contained the Dunlap offense pretty well.
Yeah, they have, and obviously again helps having athletes on both sides of the ball, and again these two teams very unique, and again haven't faced each other this year, so excited to see how they respond.
2nd and 13, a throw out to Jordan, and Jordan will be stopped right away again. This Woodruff defense holding their own against this powerful Dunlap offense.
A little screen pass out there, and again, Woodruff, seen the last couple of plays, just really just swarming to the football a lot, and that's obviously makes things tough for Dunlap. So I'll bring up a
3rd and
about
12, 13.
12, 13 about. Ball's at the 41 and a half.
Big down for the Woodruff defense. Will they stop Dunlap again?
Woodruff safety's guarded the sticks right now at the 45.
Throw out to Joey Joseph, and Joseph will gain a few, and it'll be back to where it started at the 4th and 10.
And just another great tackle from Woodruff. I think that was Amir Lee Clayton, number 5. And anytime that you can wrap up a defender, right when you touch him, not let him carry you for any extra yards, and just bring him down, that's big. And it prevented Joseph from breaking that free and maybe picking up the 1st down.
And once again, push is back for the Eagles to punt the ball away. Will he fake it? He will send the ball away. Great punt. Back to receive is the athlete himself, Smith Holly. And he will touch it and he will return it. Switching field. Smith Holly. Will he get the edge? Great block. Smith Holly still going. A flag is on the play, and he'll be stopped around the 50. But the ball was out.
There's a flag down as well. All sorts.
That was Larry Howell that got the ball out. But there is a flag on the field.
What a wild play. How about Smith Holly reversing course? Got some great blocks. And the flag came out. I think there was a Woodruff player. While he was trying to block, he was trying to adjust his either mouth guard or face mask as he was trying to block as well. The flag came out. The ball came out.
This is a crucial penalty for both teams.
I think with it maybe happening, I don't know. I think this could be Dunlap ball because they could just decline the penalty possibly. See what the rest are discussing. Maybe whether or not the ball was out. Again, I know it came out a bit late.
And if it is Dunlap football, after all that, what a play by Larry Howell, number 2 for the Eagles.
Yeah, again, we talked about what Woodruff was able to do on that play. Dunlap credit them for getting the ball out and recovery, picking up a couple of yards as well.
We get the call.
Personal
A
foul.
personal foul on Woodruff. That penalty is declined, so it will be.
Personal foul looks like also maybe a personal foul on Dunlap as well, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure. Lots going on that last play. They're still trying to figure out what's going on in the field, and they. Ball's going to be at the 49. And it's first down,
Dunlap. So what a play by Larry Howell to take away what would have been a promising kickoff by Smith Holly. And nonetheless, Dunlap takes over.
Right about where they were at originally. I mean, they punted from the 45-yard line. Interesting call it, because I just saw the ref again. There were personal fouls on both teams, but Dunlap stays with the ball. Be curious to see an explanation on that one, just out of curiosity.
1st and 10 for Rickenall. Launches it deep. He's looking for Jordan and is broken up. Broken up by Demetrius Gilbert.
Broken up by Therese Alexander.
Or excuse me, Therese Alexander.
Or no, it was Demetrius Gilbert.
It was Demetrius Gilbert.
Yeah, PA announcer next to us got the roster we have has, it's like almost like an Excel spreadsheet. There's like the number of the row. Then next to it is the row of is the number of the jersey. So it gets a bit confusing sometimes. But that was Demetrius Gilbert there on the pass breakup. So 2nd and 10. You got Dunlap behind schedule. You need another big play here, and then I think you'd be in good shape if you're Woodruff.
Woodruff defense seeing the Dunlap offense yet again. And the ball is dropped. Kyle Push will pick it up, but the play is blown dead. There is a flag on the field, too.
Break out your bingo cards, ladies and gentlemen. We have it all here at Dunlap.
Loss of 4 on the football staff.
It looked like that flag was waved off. 3rd and 14 for the Eagles. Once again, this Woodruff defense doing a great job.
Again, and, they guarded the sticks well last time, and Dunlap needs to get to the 41. So, Woodruff has the speed to meet guys on the outside. Just kind of to wrap him up on the tackle and not let him go over the top.
A fake to Williams and a handoff to Joseph, and Joseph trying to get the edge. He does. And Joseph was still going. He does not go out of bounds, and he will be eventually brought out of bounds. That looked to be a Marion Smith-Holly on the stop.
What a huge run for Joseph. It looks like that play looked like he wasn't going to gain much. It looks like he was going to run out of room. He kind of pushed his blocker and say, here, go here, and laid down a perfect block, and then just saw Williams really kicking in second gear. Almost saw him just accelerate. And I thought he would be gone for a second, but what a play there from Williams, showing off his speed.
He turns a 3rd and 14 for Dunlap into a 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for the Eagles. On the verge of scoring again.
Now, how about how much time they took taking up off the clock as well? We're under the 4-minute mark. In the second quarter, Dunlap has held the ball for just about the entire frame.
Rickenall to push. Push, big body, will be tripped up by the 20.
Get him about 3 or 4 there, and if you're Dunlap, at this position of the field, you don't mind that. The more plays it takes to get to the end zone, the more time you take off the clock, and the more time that Woodruff doesn't have the ball. So ball control, I think, is kind of becoming a big factor in this game, because the Warriors, aside from that punt return that was given back to Dunlap after the flags, they haven't touched the ball at all here in the second quarter.
And that muff punt that got recovered by Larry Howell gives the defense less time to rest. And you might feel some fatigue that way too, as the second down handoff goes for nearly nothing. As we approach less than 3 minutes left to go in the half, there's no score yet to be said in the second quarter. It's still 6-8 in favor of the Eagles.
And both teams getting those two early touchdowns. Smith Holly for Woodruff, and trying to jog my memory. Who scored for?
That was a Nolan Rickenau pass to
That's
Marvin
right.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass. That right to Marvin Jordan, and really getting that 2-point kick. The only difference right now.
It's 3rd and short for the Eagles. You got Spraker in motion, but flags fly.
There were 3 of them, and whatever it was obvious, and that'll.
And it's a false start on the Eagles, which pushes them back 5 yards.
I'm making about 3rd and
about 7, 8.
Boy, I was. 3rd and ball's on the 24. They need to get to about the 17. So yeah, about 3rd and 7. This is huge for Woodruff now. You can really build some momentum, some positive spirits going into halftime. If you can stop Dunlap on this drive, especially here in the red zone.
3rd and 7. Rickenau throws it to Jordan again. Jordan makes the man miss. Fails to get the edge and is stopped.
Pass complete to Marvin Jordan.
Stopped by Javion Wright for the Warriors.
Well, Marvin Jordan may win the award for most yardage covered in the game. I mean, he just, every time he touches the ball, his initial instinct is to go east-west rather than north-south.
4th down and 1.
Picked up 5 there, so that'll bring up 4th and about 1.5 or so.
The Eagles are in no hurry. We're approaching a minute left to go in the half. No urgency for this team.
Just milking all the clock. I mean, this is an absolute clinic in ball control.
Rickenau does not take the snap. There's timeout by the Eagles. They'll talk things over as we approach the later minute of the half. Score is still 6-8 in favor of the Eagles. 47 seconds left to go in the second half. And if you need help reaching your financial goals and planning for the future, Josh Rickenau at Country Financial can help. Give him a call at 309-689-3161 or visit his office in North Peoria, just south of Dunlap. We are back in Dunlap High School. Once again, Dunlap at the timeout. They will talk about their plan of attack. But like you said, John, the ball keeping clinic that Dunlap has been having so far, the big factor in this game.
I don't know if I've ever seen a team control the ball for an entire quarter before. Obviously, shorter quarters here in JFL at about 10 minutes or so. But, you know, obviously Woodruff was about to get the ball before those penalties. So they technically were able to sort of get the ball. But it's like Dunlap got gifted another possession right back to them and just got 2 of them back to back.
Rickenau moves under center, and he'll pick it up himself. They were just playing for the first down there. And they are sorting out the pile. And
officials are having trouble to figure out where the spot is. Either way, it's going to be extremely close.
Pivotal moment in this game. And it's turnover on downs. The Warriors take over. That is huge.
That is really, really big for this Woodruff team. Obviously, Dunlap has the ball for so long, but I really got to credit their defense. I think it honestly may even say more about Woodruff's defense because Dunlap has had the ball for so long and hasn't been able to score. I mean, you know, we both know, Michael, this is a team that just can go down the field and just score in an instant. I mean, you could give them the ball 60 yards away with 30 seconds left, and they could find a way to get it done. Woodruff, though, has found the answer to see if they can get a score before the half.
Smith Howley will take it himself to his legs. Wow, he's really fast, and he will go out of bounds himself. A big gain on first down. Stops the clock at 32.8 remaining in the half.
I think if memory serves me right, Woodruff should have a couple timeouts. I want to say 2 if I'm not mistaken. So, again, with Smith Holly, what he could do with his arm and his legs, a touchdown still very much in the cards for Woodruff here. 32.8 left to go here in the first half.
Joining Smith Howley is Anderson Davis. Smith Howley will throw it outside, and it is caught, and the clock will still be ticking.
Pass complete to Egan Fruit.
And a timeout by Woodruff. So the clock will stop at 22.8 remaining. A good spot for the Warriors. Hopefully they can get a few points here before the half ends.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do with it again. We're going to see probably some of the more exciting plays of the game. Maybe see a deep shot down the field, and good tackle there by Dunlap. Obviously, Woodruff got the first down, but they kept him in bounds and forced Woodruff to use an extra timeout. If they didn't get him in bounds and Woodruff were able to find the sideline, then you could really just open up the playbook a lot. You can hit the middle of the field rather than trying to go for the sidelines because you have those timeouts. So now Woodruff, I believe, has one left.
I think so too. Be 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Smith Howley looks to get the Warriors that much closer to the end zone before the half ends.
Dunlap again. You want instincts tell you to play deep, play for the pass, but you got to keep an eye on their quarterback.
Smith Howley will throw it outside, and it is intercepted by the Eagles.
Intercepted, Joey Joseph.
And Joey Joseph, like we said before, the fastest man on the team, a track star, uses his track speed to get that interception.
What a ball, first of all, by Smith Holly. As he didn't go where final destination wasn't where he wanted it to. Threw it over about 25 yards down the field, and what a catch, too, by Joseph. And, I mean, that was really a 50-50 ball. Anyone could have got it, and, really in that moment, that split second, it comes down to just, who wants the ball more, and right there was Joey Joseph. So, with 15 seconds left, we'll see what Dunlap can do. I, wouldn't put it past him to, throw a deep ball. I mean, we could really see the strength of Nolan Rickenaw's arm here. I'm sure Josh Rickenaw's got a pretty good arm as well.
Back in his playing days.
I'm sure.
1st and 10 for the Eagles, 15.7 remaining in the half, an end around once again. And that is Joey Joseph. Speaking of Joey Joseph, doing on both the offensive and defensive end. And that'll just about do it for the half. No scoring in the second quarter, all in the first quarter. A really close game to this point. Woodruff 6, Dunlap 8. John, what are your thoughts about this first half?
Man, that was some really entertaining football. I mean, this is JFL football at its best. And again, 2 undefeated teams. One of them is going to end with a loss tonight. One of them is going to have a signature win in their biggest game of the year. Both offenses look good, both defenses look good as well. I think it's really going to come down to, Dunlap's big playability. Woodruff on defense has really been impressive, I think, so far. Obviously, they're down at the moment, but aside from that, opening drive for Dunlap that took about, 6-7 minutes off the clock in the first quarter, it's been, really a strong showing from the Warriors. Then, on Dunlap's side, obviously we've seen them, more often than we've seen Woodruff, obviously this year. But, I think for them it's, a little bit of an uncharacteristic showing, but you're going to have that against, a good team like Woodruff. Really curious to see how well they can run the ball, especially Woodruff's front seven has looked really strong as well. And, don't go anywhere because this game is going to come down, I think, maybe to the last possession. I don't foresee this one becoming too much of a blow on either hand. It's really good football.
Don't go anywhere. The 14U Super Bowl is being decided in the second half. It's Dunlap 8, Woodruff 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dunlap High School, the 14U Super Bowl. 2 more quarters to go. The score is 6-8 in favor of the Eagles. And John, what are your overall thoughts on the first half going into the second half? What do teams need to change?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for Dunlap, I think, you need to, I know they're trying to get to the outside and, have those big plays. I think, just run up the middle a little bit. I think that'll help wear this Woodruff defense down. And, for Woodruff as well, I think they can establish the running game as well. Obviously, Smith Holly, quarterback has been running very well. Maybe hand off to their running backs a little bit more. We'll see. Obviously that's kind of the more tried and true thing. The pass game doesn't always travel, especially in the postseason. Should also mention that the elements. It's very nice night out as the kick is away.
And it's a great kick, and it was just recovered by the Warriors. It must have been touched right away by the first Warrior, but nonetheless recovered by the Warriors on the 45.
And just to finish my point from earlier, it's getting pretty cold out. I mean, I started the day, I was over at Washington and for a game, and it felt beautiful out there. 60 degrees. I mean, just picture perfect weather. Now the temperatures are dropping. It's getting cold. It makes it harder to catch the football as well. We'll see if that has any effect here in half number 2. Teams have thrown the football, though. We've seen a lot of really good coverage from both teams, especially that interception there from Joey Joseph right before the half.
Smith Holly under center for the Warriors. Rolls out to his right. A flag flies. Still avoiding Dunlap defenders. What a move. Smith Holly will do it himself. Smith Holly picks up the first down a lot more. And he'll be pushed out of bounds. But there's a flag on the field. It could be coming right back.
Yeah, both of them are near the backfield. I would venture to guess this is probably going against Woodruff. And the fact that Smith Holly was open and had so much room to run for so long, you figure it probably was because of a hold. So that's my guess. We will await the official call from the man in the white hat. You look at him right there.
Indeed, it's a false start on the Warriors, and all that running by Smith Holly goes for nothing. In fact, it's a loss of 5.
Yeah, false start and a holding. Interesting situation here because most false starts usually don't, complete the play. It's, an automatic accepted penalty. But, with that hold as well, I don't know if Dunlap will be forced to accept. No, they declined the false start. They'll take the holding. So that'll be 10 yards rather than 5. They'll set up a 1st and 20 now for Woodruff.
When Amarion Smith Holly was on the run, it brought you shades of Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson, the way he was able to make people miss.
I'll tell you, if they come out with an EA Sports game for JFL football, I think a lot of people would pick Woodruff just, because he's kind of a cheat code, like a Lamar Jackson is in Madden. It's just the way he's programmed, it's just so unstoppable, and it seemed the same way for Smith Holly with his legs tonight. 1st and
20 for Smith Holly, a weird snap. Smith Holly once again on the move, and he will be brought down, and he's still going.
He's going way backwards.
And way back. Or excuse me, that is Jeremiah Rankford. And there's a flag on the field as well.
Some fans voicing their displeasure, and I don't know. That's an unsportsmanlike conduct against Woodruff.
That's huge for the Warriors.
I mean, yeah, huge in huge in not the way you want it. Obviously, a huge penalty. I'll move him back even further, so it is going to be about 1st and Princeville at this point for Dunlap. All right, excuse me, for Woodruff. Ball's on the 15. They need to get to the opposing 45. About
Good
1st
news.
and 40. That's not a typo.
Good news for Woodruff. It is 1st down. They have some downs to work with to gain some of this yardage away.
They do, and you're going to need to pick up an average of about 13, 14 yards on each of the following 3 plays. So again, you mentioned what both teams could do better. What I should have said in the moment was flags. That's really been a big factor in this game so far.
Smith Holly goes to his left. He'll pick it up himself. He's still going, and he'll be brought down for a gain of around 2 to 3 yards.
Brian Smith Holly on the keeper.
And once again, not a typo, 2nd and 37. We're getting closer to Peoria.
Yeah, we are. Well, actually closer to Princeville. Princeville's a little bit north, about in the, kept on going a straight line past the goalpost. You'd reach that, it's really pretty small town, a little northwest of Dunlap here, but Peoria is, if you want to get technical with it, again, this is just geography nerd and me coming out. Peoria is more on the end zone. That would be to the left of your screens. 2nd and 34 is what it officially is. One thing about the last couple of plays for Dunlap is they've done a pretty good job of tackling as well. You know, the first guy there hasn't been able to bring him down, but he's able to just kind of, you know, grab him, hold his jersey, and wait for the reinforcements to come. That's prevented Woodruff from breaking off any big plays.
The officials talking over. Not too sure what this is about. As Woodruff fans are voicing their displeasure. You can hear below us.
Yeah, it's been certainly an interesting game for the men in stripes tonight. They've had to deal with a lot of interesting situations. A lot of, I'm sure you don't see 1st and 42 often. A lot of weird offsetting penalties and things like that. So, you know, again, this obviously is a time of the year for both teams. You don't want to be having lots of flags. You know, you shake the rust off at the start of the year. You understand it a little bit more and everything, but, you know, now this is where you really just can't have those penalties.
Smith Holly will hand it off to Jeremiah Rayford, and Rayford will pick up a decent chunk of the yardage, be pushed out of bounds by Kyle Push and Marvin Jordan.
Well, they got half of what they needed, not on that play, but the first 2 plays. They'll make it a significantly shorter 3rd and 20.
Still a chunk of yardage you need to get close to the first down, let alone get the first down yardage. Interesting to see what they'll do here. Well, Smith Holly doing himself with his legs. He's been doing it all half so far.
Yeah, we'll see. Honestly, I think we see his arm. I expect him to throw it deep here.
Smith Holly to his left. Flushed out of the pocket, and he'll be incompleted. Pass intended for Jeremiah Rayford.
That's a tough throw there for Smith Holly. I mean, he's on the move. He's throwing it across his body.
Dunlap football, 1st and 10 from the 35.
So apparently I was mistaken. That was my 4th and 20. So it'll be, regardless, it'll be Dunlap football now on the 35. A little confusing for us up here in the booth, but you know, now for Dunlap, you know, the ball's in Woodruff territory. You're not going to be able to bleed a ton of time off the clock. But, again, if you're Woodruff, you just don't want the ball in Dunlap's hands regardless, even if you're down and not picking up first downs. You just want to be in possession of the ball, keep Dunlap's offense on the sidelines. Now we'll get to see them for the first time in the second half.
Good news for Woodruff's defense. It's a 2-point game. They've been holding the Dunlap offense at bay for the most part of this game. A handoff to Push. And Push will gain about a half yard, maybe a yard. Not much going there for Push.
No, not much there. And the first man there was Noah Harrington for Woodruff. It seems, Michael, like we've called almost every player on Woodruff's roster. I mean, you know, we've seen so many different players just make plays. It's a deep team as well. Both these teams have pretty solid numbers. You got over 10 to 15 players on each sideline. So from top to bottom, these are, again, just 2 strong teams, and that just helps show why they're both 9-0 at the moment.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Ricknall in the pocket by himself. Push in motion. We'll do an end around to Joey Joseph, and Joseph's still going, and he'll pick up the first down and quite a bit more. It's down to 20.
And we've seen now for Dunlap a couple times that double fake end around. And, we've seen both of these teams really just try and do that and establish that today. I mean, almost every run has, been off tackle. We haven't really seen anything, between the tackle and the guard or the guard and the center. It's, been all places to try and string the defense out to the outside. I think both defenses have done a really good job of getting out there, but That time, not enough to stop the very speedy Joey Joseph.
Amarion Smith-Holly on that tackle. He's been doing it all so far for the Warriors. The first and 10. Pass is caught by Push, and Push, hard to bring down, gets a gain of about 3.
Nice throw there from Reich that was dealing with pressure right in his face there, and didn't complete it for many yards downfield, but Push is able to live up to his name, go forward.
Pick up a 3, second down and 7.
And that'll move Dunlap officially into
the red zone.
The red zone, you're right. And, you feel it, Michael, if they can go down and score, get a 2-point kick, a 16-6 lead would probably feel pretty good.
You're feeling very comfortable with the 16-6 lead. That's for sure. 2nd and 7. 7. Hand off to Blaze Williams. Williams chugging along, breaks a few tackles, and is stopped. First one there for the Warriors is Noah Harrington, number 20.
Just called his name a couple plays ago, so we saw the Woodruff defense around this part of the field back to nearly end the first half. They bended, but they didn't break. When Dunlap had the ball deep in Woodruff territory, Woodruff defense was able to bear down and get the stop. Preventing them from getting 3 yards and most likely 2 plays is a tall task. I mixed up between task and order there, but they put up to the challenge tonight.
Hand off to Blaze Williams, and he stopped immediately.
Blaze Williams brought down in the backfield by number 52.
We do not have a 52 on the roster. We apologize to 52's parents. We apologize to our viewers at home. But nonetheless, he made a big stop. It's 3rd and 3.
The nameless wonder ball at about the 12 or 13, you get to about the 8 or 9. So we'll be generous. We'll say it's 4th and 3, maybe closer to 4th and 4, but number 52 there for Woodruff. That was a really big tackle. Sets up 4th down and doesn't allow Dunlap to get any closer.
A huge down for the Eagles and the Warriors.
There's a flag down. I'm not sure. Maybe offsides.
It looks to be on the Warriors. This would be huge for their defense if it was offsides. This official's discussing it now. 3:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter. No scoring since the 1st quarter. 6-8 in favor of the Eagles. We're waiting the call for the flag.
Referee's having some discussion here.
And it will be offsides on the Warriors. That is huge. Or excuse me, encroachment. Still, same faults. That is huge. That gives the Eagles a 1st and goal.
That's massive. I mean, on 4th down, that's just something you just can't have. And, I know Dunlap had something been in motion. Looked like they may have been snapping the ball early. I mean, you want to get a good jump, especially if they were going to run that end-around play. But, obviously, that's killer for Woodruff. And, penalties have really been, defining for them here in this 3rd quarter. Set them back majorly on their drive. And then penalties are going to have to keep their defense on the field and make them work harder to keep the Eagles out of the end zone.
Bottom of your screen is Marvin Jordan. Kyle Push with the carry. Push still chugging along, and he'll be down around the 2 to 3 yard line.
Kyle Push on the carry. Jeremiah
Rayford, we've called his name quite a bit on the offensive end, also getting it on the defensive end with the stop of Push.
And again, for Dunlap, it's been a drive that I'm sure they're probably happy with. You look at the clock right now, 2.5 minutes left to go in the 3rd. So, we're time is, fast winding down. Obviously, still lots of football left to be played. Anything can happen. Both these teams can strike fast. But, I mean, Dunlap, again, just continue to manhandle the time of possession battle.
And going the motion was Joey Joseph, and Joseph still pushing along. Kyle Push pushing him into the end zone. And he will be just short of the end zone.
Not quite in there, but boy, again, Kyle Push for the second time in about 4 plays, living up to his name, trying to boost his teammate in there. They're going to spot the ball at the 2-yard line. It looked like it may have been inside the 1.
It will be 3rd and goal for the Eagles as they look to punch it in and make it what could be a 10-point ball game.
Now, obviously, a score make it 14-6. Then be that, whatever they do for the PAT, they may, who knows, they may decide to go for a 1. Even if they do go for 1, it still would be a 2-possession ball game. So that's going to be a big play for the Warriors D as well if Dunlap is able to score.
Working on Williams behind him. Takes a snap. Hands off to Williams. Oh, no, he did not. To Joey Joseph. And Joseph will score a touchdown. Touchdown Eagles. That'll extend their lead for the moment being 14-6. Man, that's the beneficiary of having 2 really good running backs. You have to be wary of both.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, what a play call there. I mean, Woodruff just absolutely sold out to stopping the person they were initially handing off to. The name escapes me at the moment, but I mean, if they were handing off to their original option, he would have been blown up in the backfield, but no, they run the end around and it works.
And the kick is up, and it is no good. Push to the right. And it will stay a 1-possession ball game. That is huge for Woodruff. It keeps them a touchdown away from tying up the game.
Yeah, touchdown and that all-important 2-point kick that was blocked earlier. So, player that blocked that for Dunlap earlier, if I'm not mistaken, may have been Will McFarlane. It was either him or
could very well have been Larry Howell.
Yeah, Howell's had some good plays on the D line as well. So that was, a play that doesn't seem big, but really, can change the outlook of the game, can change your mindset as well, because Woodruff has to go down the field now, and they'll know that even if they score, it doesn't guarantee that they'll be in the lead. They'll have to get that 2-point kick. And, I think with how much Dunlap has gotten the ball, their time of possession isn't guaranteed. So I think if Woodruff were to score, I think it's an absolute no-brainer that you kick, even if there's still maybe 5 or so minutes left on the clock.
Because even if you miss that kick, it's only a 2-point game.
Indeed it is.
Kyle Push with the kick. Well, you see him squeeze it up the middle. Let's see if he does it again. He will. He'll do it onside kick style. Recovered by Woodruff. Woodruff will toss it. That looks to be Smith Holly. And Smith Holly's still going. Refusing to go out of bounds, and ultimately he will. But not before getting into the Dunlap side of the field, but there is a flag.
A flag all the way back at the 50-yard line. Came from pretty far behind the play. I'm curious to see what this may be about. Great return there for Woodruff, and that's what they need to set him up in good field position. That one is against the Warriors. So
holding.
Warrior are blocking the back on the Warriors, so this 3rd quarter they've been tripping over their own 2 feet a little bit too much and kind of shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. Every big play that they've had is seemingly been negated by the yellow laundry.
And you've already mentioned about how big the penalties have been for Woodruff. Do you think if they can clean the penalties up, do you really think they can just score right away? Do you think, because you've already mentioned about the big plays being negated by the penalty, do you think if they can just get rid of some of those penalties, do you think they can score right away?
I mean, maybe not right away. I mean, obviously it's tough to ask, hey, go gain 53 yards like they would need right now for a touchdown. But I think, they can get down the field and maybe, 5-6 plays somewhere around there. But it seems like, for them, every 2 or 3 plays seems to be a penalty for them. So, it's hard to have 5 or 6 positive plays in a row when, every second or every 3rd play is being brought back because of a flag.
It'll be Smith Holly going to his right, but switches course, and oh my goodness, he makes a man miss. He makes a man fall, and he will go out of bounds, not before picking up a much needed 1st down. And like I said before, shades of Lamar Jackson there.
Yeah, and Woodruff, great play there. You're pretty much right back to where you were before the penalty. So, I mean, that's great resilience. I think that's something that these kids are probably going to learn well is And our learning currently at the moment is, even if you do get a flag, don't beat yourself up. You still have an opportunity to make a big play, and Smith Holly did so there and kept Woodruff chugging along.
Smith Holly to his left completes it to Jeremiah Rayford.
Pass complete to Devarian Taylor.
Or excuse me, Devarian Taylor with the reception. Pick up a game in around 5. Pick up a 2nd and 5.
A nice little pitching catch there, and again, not every play, not every pass needs to go to the house. Those little 5-yard gains will build some confidence for you, for sure.
Looks like Smith Holly once again doing himself with his legs. Smith Holly not going down, and ultimately will be pushed out of bounds by Christian Spraker of the Eagles.
Brian Smith Holly on the carry.
9 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Dunlap scores again. It is 14-6 Eagles.
It's another Woodruff first down.
Yeah, that was a really nice play there from Smith Holly. It looked like he maybe wrapped up near the first down marker on the 25 or so, but kind of just put his head down, kept on chugging. Usually you see the big running backs, the big fullbacks that fight for those extra yards. That time the quarterback did it for Woodruff.
Smith Holly handed it off to Anderson Davis. Anderson Davis will pick up around 5 to 6.
Deshaun Anderson Davis on the carry.
And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Score is 6-14 Eagles over the Warriors. This is the 14U Super Bowl. And this is the last quarter that these teams will play for the year.
Indeed it is, and boy, you really just can't ask for more. One possession game, one team driving. We'll see what kind of momentum that Woodruff can have and if it can reach the pinnacle of reaching the end zone. But boy, don't go anywhere, folks. This is it's just a really high level football being played here. I know we have a lot of focus on obviously IHSA football as well. That's our main broadcast and everything, but I mean, this is also just really good football as well. Glad you're tuning in here on Clutch Sports Media.
So for all your insurance needs, give Josh Rickenall, your local Country Financial agent, a call at 309-689-3161. Josh is a proud supporter of Dunlap Athletics. And you were talking about IHSA football. These kids are going to be in the freshman years of high school. After their 8th grade seasons are done with football and whatnot, you're going to be seeing these kids in the JV levels, the freshman levels of their respective schools. They're going to be seeing them battle it out. And in 3 years, you're going to be seeing these kids being major factors on their varsity teams.
I think so, and you can maybe make the case even for some of these guys that are in 8th grade, maybe even sooner than that. I mean, Dunlap, they are no stranger to playing, some young players, very talented players as well. Woodruff as well, to, whatever high school they end up going to, opportunities that, pretty much everyone to, earn some good playing time. Peoria High, Richwoods, Manual, and any other school around the area, usually not too afraid to play their underclassmen, given if they're talented enough, and we've seen a lot of talent here tonight.
Smith Holly will do it himself. The design quarterback run, gets the edge, shows off the speed, and he scores. Touchdown Woodruff. The Warriors make it a 2-point game.
And how about that? I mean, that was a beautiful run from Smith Holly, and it all boils down to one thing. That little hesitation he did right when he caught the ball. Usually he just catches the ball and just is taken off. There he made Dunlap think about it, that split second. Then he was able to make that first step, get Dunlap on their heels. They weren't able to catch up with him there. Just a beautifully drawn-up run there by the Woodruff coaching staff and nicely executed by Smith Holly.
Interesting decision. They're going for the one-pointer. And they will not get it. Wow, what a tackle made by Dunlap.
Deshaun Anderson Davis on the carry, brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Benjamin Cave.
And that looks like
Point after attempt, no good. Dunlap 14, Woodruff.
Dunlap player on the tackle.
I didn't quite see who it was at first, but that was a massive play for the Eagles. And again, in JFL football, extra points and, stuff like that of that nature in the NFL and college are usually guaranteed. Games usually aren't decided based off of how well you do them, although there are occasionally some. But especially in JFL, in close games, it really all boils down to, can you get a 2-point kick? Can you get, a 1-point conversion and everything? So far, Woodruff hasn't been able to get any of their PATs. They tried to kick it first. It was blocked. That one was going nowhere from the start. Great defense there from Dunlap. And so Woodruff is going to have to, probably get a stop here on this Dunlap drive. If they go down and score, still could be an 8-point game, but that means you would have to stop Dunlap's 2-point kick somehow as well.
You've talked about it before, John, with the time of possession control. It's been very hard for Woodruff to even stop this Dunlap offense.
It has, and they've forced a couple punts and everything like that tonight, but obviously Dunlap, given the relatively low score, you'd figure there'd be more punts this game, but there haven't been as many possessions, long possessions for both teams here tonight.
An onside kick, but it is blown dead. And there is a penalty. It's a false start on the Warriors.
Got a little too jumpy there on the onside kick, so they'll redo it again, and that's something that could really turn the game on its head if Woodruff is, if they kick the onside and are able to recover. You never know which sort of bounce the ball is going to take. Obviously, with its oblong shape, that's the most unique aspects of football, is just the unique shape of the ball.
Just 6 seconds into the fourth quarter, 9:54 left to go for the JFL 14U Super Bowl. It's on the line here tonight, folks, as Woodruff gets ready to kick it off once again.
Dunlap, they know the onside's coming. They have 10 guys up near the line.
And it is booted, and they're looking to pin the Eagles.
How about this?
And how about that? And maybe it was touched by the Eagles first, which was making it Dunlap or Woodruff football.
It's Woodruff football.
And it's Woodruff football.
That's the longest onside kick you'll ever see in your life. Incredible awareness from the Warriors with 10 Dunlap players near the 45. They said, hey, we'll boot it down the field. We'll send our gunners down the sideline. Just try to win a foot race to the ball. They did, and they hit the ball in the red zone. That's just spectacular football. I mean, really nothing you can do if you're Dunlap there. That's just incredible awareness from Woodruff, who will get the chance to score 2 times in a row.
In the red zone off an onside kick, when they don't even return the onside kick, they just recover it. That's how bizarre that was. In 1st and 10 for the Warriors, with an opportunity to get the lead.
You see something new each day, Michael, and I've seen some things for the first time today, but that was certainly the one I wasn't expecting the most. About a 50-yard onside kick. It wasn't onside, but it resulted in the same.
Smith Hawley in the shotgun. Takes it himself to his legs. Tough to bring down. Still haven't gotten him down. And a swarm of Eagles led by Joey Joseph and Larry Howell on the stop.
And it's really no secret who the ball is going to be in the hands of at this point for Woodruff. It's going to be Amarion Smith Hawley. Now, Dunlap,
there was a flag on the field.
That's about an every other play occurrence at this point.
It's a face mask on the Eagles. That is huge. Not only do you tack on the run by Smith Hawley, but you're adding a face mask penalty. And all of a sudden, it's a 1st and goal.
That'll be a half the distance to the goal.
And it'll be caught for a touchdown. That is huge. That's Jeremiah Rayford. And the Warriors take the lead over the 14U Dunlap Eagles.
Unbelievable. Rayford's going to remember that one for quite a long time. The go-ahead touchdown for Woodruff. They have shot the Eagles here on their home field. And now they're putting lots of pressure on this Dunlap team that's looked so good all season long. What a throw and catch there from Smith Hawley to Rayford.
It all started with a bizarre onside kick style kick on the kickoff that was recovered by the Warriors in the red zone. Didn't make it too difficult for the Warriors to score yet another touchdown.
Come on, Woodruff players hitting the gritty on the sidelines. Energy is high.
These kids are amped up, that's for sure. As Smith Hawley will look out, throw it, and it is caught again by Jeremiah Rayford, and they convert. The 1-point conversion is a 19-14 ball game. What a game to this point.
That's a really impressive play. Smith Holly directing traffic. He's told Rayford he was being flushed out. He's like, hey, go over there. I'm going to throw you the ball. Gets rid of it at the last second. Rayford jumps up, makes a nice leaping grab. I think in the grand scheme of things, Michael, that 1 point won't really have much of an effect, because if that were to kick a field goal, and Woodruff would still be in the lead. If they got a touchdown, Dunlap would still be in the lead as well. So Warriors not electing to go with any kicks after that first one was blocked. So that point will certainly help, and who knows, maybe it could end up being big down the road. But overall, still the same. Dunlap is going to need a touchdown to get back on top. 9:27 to go in the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns for Woodruff in 33 seconds.
Unanswered scores from the Warriors. And speaking of the Warriors, they're kicking it off. Will they try to do what they did again? Try to do a classic onside kick right away. Make Dunlap think that they're going for the onside kick and then boot it and see if they can get away with it again. I don't think Dunlap would be willing to make that mistake again, but we'll see.
Well, Dunlap is sort of in that same formation. They have 10 guys up near the line and just 1 guy back deep. Obviously, you have all 11 Woodruff players running with momentum against just 1 guy for Dunlap.
Looks like one of the Woodruff coaches is directing where to actually kick it. And it will be smartly recovered and sat down by Joey Joseph. The Eagles are not letting that happen again.
No, it is a smart decision there just to go down the ball again. Probably would have endured a big hit if you were to try and run that one back. So just get the possession of the ball back, give your offense the football. We'll see what Nolan Reichena, or excuse me, is it the Hiccup Monster's getting me, but what Nolan Reichena can do with this Dunlap Eagles team again. It's been one of the premier players overall in this entire 14U league, and again, we'll see what he's made of here on this drive in the 14U Super Bowl.
Riggin on the shotgun. Blaze Williams to his left. Pitches it to Williams. Williams on the run. Avoiding defenders. It will be taken down.
Blaze Williams on the carry.
Will to be Joshua Taylor on the tackle. Number 40 for the Warriors.
Josh Taylor on the stop.
And Dunlap here again. Ideal scenario is you do a drive sort of like you did back in the first quarter. You take about 6-7 minutes off the clock. That would leave Woodruff with only about 2 minutes left or so, under 9 minutes to play now. But I mean, still, you want to obviously a quick score is also fine as well. You'll take a score any way you can get it.
That's a great point. It'll be interesting to see how they change the way they've controlled the ball now that they're actually down. Be 2nd and 8. Reichena takes a snap. End around, but the ball is lost. Picked up by Joey Joseph again, and Joey Joseph will get again about 1. And Jeremiah Rankford on the stop again for the Warriors. He's been called a lot today.
That is a big-time tackle from Rayford, and I mean, he is just the epitome of clutch here tonight. He's on Clutch Sports Media, but I mean, that was a huge tackle because looks like Joseph may have been gone if Rayford didn't get in there, or at least pick up a big gain, a first down.
The 2 big pieces for Woodruff to this point are Marion Smith-Howley and Jeremiah Rankford. They've shown that they are very clutch in moments, and they definitely helped their team to where they are now with this lead. Snap to Reichena. Reichena throws it out to Joseph again. Joseph avoids a few tacklers and will get swarmed back down by a gang of Warriors.
This is going to be really close to the first down, right around the 38 or so. It's either going to be a first down by a slim margin or 4th and inches.
And
we're waiting to see. Chain gang is still in place at the moment. And will be first down Dunlap just by a hair.
Big for the Eagles.
Big sigh of relief, because rather than having to sort out a 4th down where there's a chance, obviously, that you don't get it, give the ball back to Woodruff. Now you can keep possession, keep on building momentum, and going closer to 6.
Fresh set of downs for the Eagles. Rickenall motions out Blaze Williams. Williams will get it with blockers, but he will not get much. You'll get a gain of about 1, maybe 2. Once again, a gang of Warriors on the stop.
Williams on the screen pass.
Nice job for Williams making something out of nothing there again as the hiccups are continuing to attack me in the booth at the moment. I can't remember last time this happened, but I mean, what a game that we've had, and this is really just going to come down, I think, to the final 2 minutes or so. Will Dunlap still have the football? Will they be in the lead at that point? I mean, you just never know.
You got to think about this Woodruff defense and what they've done to sterilize this Dunlap offense as Rickenall looks again. And he will find Joey Joseph again. And Joseph gets around a yard. Or, excuse me, Marvin Jordan with the reception gets around a yard. It'll be around 3rd and 8 for the Eagles.
And I was just about to say, Dunlap hasn't really gone to Marvin Jordan too much since his touchdown reception back in the first quarter. And he's such a big playmaker, big play threat. Didn't really go deep there. I haven't really seen Rickenall throw it deep too much. It's a lot of screens underneath plays, and again, we'll see. Maybe it's just a sign of respect to Woodruff's secondary. But this is a massive play for Dunlap, and they're gonna call a timeout here.
Call a timeout, and they will talk things over because, like you said, a big play for their offense. And if you need help reaching your financial goals and planning for the future, Josh Rickenall at Country Financial can help. Give him a call at 309-689-3161 or visit his office in North Peoria, just south of Dunlap. We are back here, and like you said, John, the big play for this Dunlap offense. This could potentially make or break, or not necessarily the 3rd down, but if they don't get the 1st down, the 4th down ensuing could potentially make or break this game.
Yeah, it could potentially. I mean, slim possibility, but there's a possibility that a 4th down could potentially make or break their season, their undefeated season. And obviously, both these teams come into today. Obviously, you have the same goal. You want to go 10-0, win the 14U Super Bowl here, but like we said, one of these teams is going to be extremely happy. Probably even more so given how this game has played out. There's been such a battle between both of these teams. One of them is going to leave the field very sad as well, but they'll learn some good lessons and made some good memories here tonight.
3rd and 8 with push in motion. They hand it off to Joey Joseph, and Joseph will not get the 1st down. He gets around half the yardage needed for the 1st down. The set up a 4th and around 3.
Yeah, really close here. 4th and about 2 or 3. And this is a big play for Dunlap. 4:53 to go currently in the 4th quarter. Ball's at the 45. They need about the 47.
Big 4th down play for the Eagles. Rickenall and shotgun with Williams to his left, or to his right, excuse me.
Watch to see if they have any trickery coming their way here.
Rickenall in the pocket, floats it to Joseph, and Joseph picks up the 1st down. He wants the contact. He's still chugging along. And he will get the 1st down.
The Dunlap's bench and their fans going absolutely nuts right now. Good play call there from Dunlap. They sent all the receivers deep on streak routes straight down the field and left Joseph running a little in route, runs about 5-10 yards upfield and turns back in. There's no one there. I mean, that's just an easy throw and catch, like Nolan Rickenall and Joseph are playing catch in the backyard there and got some nice yards after the catch as well. So 4 minutes left to go now. Ball in the 38. If Dunlap plays the clock right, it could leave Woodruff very little time.
Like you said, just under 4 minutes left to go. 19-14, Woodruff with the lead late in the 4th quarter. Rickenall to Williams on the handoff, and Williams sprouts out and gets around, say, 3 to 4 yards.
Yeah, nice pickup there from Williams to pick up about, looks like about 7 or so, and that's a great run. Get Blaze Williams more involved a little bit. You know, Joseph and a lot of other guys have been, you know, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but, you know, Williams able to, you know, pitch in as well and really just, you know, helps keep this Woodruff defense honest. You know, you got push to guard, you obviously have Joseph, you got Jordan, then obviously you got to have someone keep an eye on Rickinaw as well.
Williams again on the carry, and he'll be stopped immediately.
That was the
Blaze Williams with the carry.
nameless number 52 again. Didn't get one on
Josh Taylor,
number 52 on our roster. There's a chance that could maybe be Therese Alexander, who is listed as number 51. But again, not 100% sure.
The nameless wonder with another big stop for this Woodruff defense that has had trouble with the possessions, the time of possession, but in terms of stopping the Dunlap offense in general, they've done a really good job.
Another about 3rd and medium long or so here for Dunlap.
3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Rickinaw flushes it down in a really risky pass that was deflected by Smith Holly. And that's a big stop for the Woodruff defense.
That may have been Rashad Pickett. Again, didn't quite get a number there, but whoever it was, that was a massive pass breakup. Now you have 4th and 8, and this play could define your season. Obviously, Dunlap has, I believe, 2 timeouts remaining, so they can't stop the clock if they don't get this and Woodruff gets it back. But, you know, if Woodruff gets a stop here, picks up a first down, when this one's over, and Woodruff would be your 14U champions. They're amping up their sideline and telling their fans to get all involved.
Boy, is this crowd amped up or what? The Woodruff fans on their feet, stomping on the bleachers. 4th and 8. Rickinaw flushes out to his right. Throws in. That's a really risky pass that nearly got intercepted. That was Javion Wright that almost came up with the pick, but nonetheless, Woodruff takes over on downs.
Yeah, and there was a defensive lineman for Woodruff that forced pressure. Rickinaw had to get out of the pocket. Wasn't comfortable, wasn't able to set his feet and throw one down the field like he was trying to do. Just kind of had to loft one up and almost got picked off. Either way, it's going to be Woodruff football regardless, excuse me there. But and now if you're Dunlap, your season lies on the shoulders of your defense. If Woodruff reaches as they move the chains, the about 46-yard line, Eagles' perfect season will come to an end.
Woodruff fans on their feet, going along with the cheerleaders cheer. The Woodruff sideline players are amping them up. Smith Holly with the carry, and he'll go, and he is gone. Oh my goodness, the shifty moves. He might go all the way, and he will.
Brought down at the
just
1.
Short of the end zone.
What a run from Amarion Smith Holly. A touchdown from Woodruff would be probably the dagger. And all you really need to do is get a first down, and Amarion Smith Holly, undoubtedly the start of the game, takes it about 60-plus yards on that first down play, and Woodruff can taste it. What a performance in this 4th quarter, Michael.
The fans can taste it. The sideline players can taste it. Marion Smith Holly can taste it. He's been the difference of this game. And they're on the 1-yard line on the precipice of possibly making this a 25-14 game and making it out of reach for a Dunlap team that has a remarkable offense in their own right.
Yeah, unless Dunlap is able to, score extremely quickly, get an onside kick, then score quickly again. And I feel like I bring it up almost every broadcast about, with the scenario game and hey, it is still possible. The amount of times you actually see it aren't very much. I mean, obviously the possibilities of it aren't zero.
But as time keeps ticking,
pretty small.
It gets smaller and smaller.
And even like still, not to cut you off, Mike, I apologize, but even still, if Dunlap was able to get a stop somehow, they would have getting the ball back on like the 1 yard. They have to drive 99 yards down the field. So honestly, I'm starting to wonder maybe you just let them go in the end zone here. You get the ball back, try and score lightning fast, and then just go for the onside kick rather than have Woodruff make you burn your timeouts or burn more time off the clock because obviously they need the ball to score.
Smith Holly hands it off to what was Jeremiah Rankford, and Rankford might have lost a yard. And looks like Dunlap will burn what feels like their final timeout.
Maybe their second.
Maybe their second.
I say it's either the second or their third, but right now for Woodruff, the biggest key is ball security. You have to hang on to the ball. If you hang to the ball, I think this game is probably yours regardless, unless something crazy happens. If you lose the ball and you fumble it, Dunlap player picks it up. There's not many people to chase him down. Could run a fumble back for a touchdown or at least have a good field position and give Dunlap a chance to win the game. So there's another avenue for the Eagles.
I got to imagine that you talked about ball security for the Warriors. You got to imagine for the Eagles defense, they're looking for the fumble.
Yeah, you're going to have to just really be aggressive to try and just rip the ball out, punch it out, do whatever you need to do. And again, even if not able to, get the ball, I mean, at least just, maybe just try and wrap him up. Maybe have someone else come in and punch the ball out as well.
Smith Holly to his left, throws it, and it's intercepted.
Oh, my!
Intercepted by...
This could go back! This is Joseph.
Joey Joseph, and Joseph showing off his speed. He's still breaking tackles, and he'll be down at the 34-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
Unbelievable! And now Dunlap will have a chance to win the game after it looked like their hope was hanging on by a thread.
That was a very questionable play call by Woodruff to throw the ball in that situation, and it definitely did not pay off in their way.
That is not the play that I would have called. And I think a large majority of people would not have called the pass there. That was, you got to keep the ball on the ground. You either go in the end zone or you make Dunlap burn a timeout. I understand, maybe you want to get cute and everything, but in the red zone, up a score in the Super Bowl, that's not the time for it. And, I mean, credit Woodruff, the guys, for bringing Joseph down. He almost had a pick six, which would have guaranteed Dunlap would have been in the lead. Now their offense has work to do, but a minute and 11 left, ball on the 34-yard line.
You got to imagine with that interception, Dunlap has a lot of momentum going their way. Rickenall Williams in the backfield like it's been all day. Rickenall at the snap. Looking for Marvin Jordan. He completes it. Jordan with the first down. He gets to the 19 in the red zone for Dunlap.
Now, the clock with that pickup doesn't become as much of an issue. Clock stops after the first down. Great protection from the offensive line there. Compared to their last throw, Rickenall was able to set his feet and be comfortable in the pocket. And really was, nice throw and catch there. Strap in, folks. 1 minute left in the JFL 14U Super Bowl.
Rickenall in the pocket. Wrap around. They're getting cute with it. It might be Woodruff's football.
Oh, my.
And it will be Woodruff's football. Oh, my goodness.
Unreal.
Woodruff players on the sideline are going berserk. Their fans are going berserk. One hell of a football game being played today. Oh, my goodness.
A tale of two sidelines. Woodruff can't contain their excitement, and all of the air out of the Dunlap side. They're on the visiting side today because they're the 2 seed, and Woodruff is the 1. Just got sucked out of the entire stadium. Unbelievable. Never in a million years would I have imagined that Dunlap would have gotten a pick on 1st and goal when it's an obvious run situation. Then they get the ball back, and on the first play, they give it right back to Woodruff. So the Warriors are able to survive the turnover.
And they're 48.7 seconds away of being your 14U Super Bowl champions. Their fans are getting rowdy. The people on the bench, the coaches, the players are loving it right now. You gotta wonder, their offense has learned from their mistake of throwing it. Maybe they just be more conservative running it.
They're just kneeling this one out. I can guarantee you that for sure.
And kneeling they do. Woodruff coach is excited, and the
celebration
Woodruff Warriors are your 14U Super Bowl champions. They defeat the Dunlap Eagles by a score of 19-14, and just like that, Dunlap goes down, and Woodruff is your champion.
Just an unbelievable football game being played here tonight, Michael. And again, I've seen lots of football games. Saw one earlier today. Saw them all season long on Clutch Sports Media at the high school level. Played in lots of college games. I watched professional football as well. This was hands down the most entertaining game I have seen in a very long time. Incredible performance from both teams. This is all you could ask for. I mean, the final game of the season, 2 undefeated teams. They leave it all out on the field. Tough win in the season for Dunlap. I mean, they tried that fake play there, that little double fake reverse end around, whatever you want to call it. Ball just came loose, and credit Woodruff for being opportunistic, falling on it. And also, whoever the player that tackled Joseph was on the interception return, that saved the game for them, because if Joseph was gone, then Dunlap is ahead 20-19. So much happened in that fourth quarter. In the first 3 quarters, obviously, long scoring drives, didn't really see a ton of possessions from each team. The ball was just going back and forth that entire fourth quarter, and the outcome was almost always in doubt.
Are these Woodruff fans and players excited or what? Their flag is flying around. They are jubilant right now. They are the 14U Super Bowl champions. If you were to name a player of the game, it might be obvious on Woodruff's side. Who are you picking?
I mean, no question, it has got to be Amarion Smith-Holly. He got it done with his legs. He got it done throwing the football as well. Threw some really nice balls. And, again, just his elusiveness, his shiftiness. I think that's what it came down to. Dunlap wasn't able to, find an answer for that. Weren't able to, bring him down really for many negative gains. He was able to find a way. And we talked about resilience earlier, and Woodruff, they were down for most of that game, but they found a way. They came back from they had lots of penalties against them. They cleaned that up in the fourth quarter as well. And again, like I said, sometimes all the cards, all the chips weren't in their corner. But they overcame it and are the 14U JFL Super Bowl champions. And also, again, big credit to Dunlap as well. Phenomenal season for Josh Rickena and, everybody else involved with the Eagles as well. It'll end in heartbreak on their home field, but just an unbelievable football game.
Folks, thanks for joining us. We started this broadcast in the fourth quarter of the 12U football game. That game ended in the Dunlap Eagles taking home the 12U Super Bowl champions. And we broadcasted the entirety of this game. This game ended with the Woodruff Warriors being the 14U Super Bowl champions. I am Michael Savoy, alongside me is Jonathan Michael. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.